back to Vizaural Music. This is the music podcast where we talk about tracks that we found on SoundCloud, on Bandcamp, and were sent in by listeners just like you. You can always send us your music, and chances are if you send it in, we're going to talk about it at vizaralmusic@gmail.com. And just like last week, my name is Ryan, and I'm joined by Angel.
That's me.
And Craig.
That is me, and what Ryan forgot to mention, you can search Vizaural Music on Twitter and YouTube, and follow us there for
Yes, you can do
stuff.
all of those things. We have
You guys,
social media.
You guys do a lot of tweeting on that thing?
Unfortunately, no.
No.
You can
I
find
don't
out when
spend that much time on Twitter these days.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you can find out. We tweet out when we release the podcast, and that's important because our release schedule is so random and shitty. Or if you just subscribe to iTunes or Google Podcasts or Stitcher. Are we on Stitcher? Spotify?
We are.
We're not
we
on
definitely are. We're not on Spotify.
Oh, don't go to Spotify. Spotify's bad. Fuck Spotify.
Yeah, evil.
Yeah.
Are there podcasts on Spotify?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can get podcasts there now.
I did not know that.
It's a process, that I'm not willing to do.
Some of the season ones, they'll release the whole season there, and it's like, what's the point? I don't want to binge a podcast.
Yeah, they don't understand this format.
No. Anyway, you can subscribe and follow us on all those things, and leave us a review on iTunes, and let's get into the... I'm a terrible host. Take it over. Take it away, Ryan.
Yeah, well, actually, thinking of what we have tweeted recently, I did tweet out something I was listening to via our Vizaural Twitter account, and it was the new Kanye West record. And I was thinking just about how, Kanye West, and, I would say he's probably one of the prestige musicians at this point. He's surely one of the biggest, acts around. Did you guys ever get a chance to listen to it? I wonder how the impact of someone like that these days, where I feel like in the 90s and before, there was plenty of bands that were really big and they put out a record, it was a big deal, and it's really now just I don't know who else is next to Kanye. Beyonce, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's true. That's crazy. But
Did you guys listen to it?
I have not had a chance to listen to it yet. I love Kanye, but I just haven't got around to it yet.
Yeah, I've
Craig, did you listen to
grown
it?
tired of his shtick, and the only reason that you tweeted that out, I'm assuming, is to try and drive to get those follows, because
I was trying to get you angry. Actually, I was hoping I would bait you.
No, I must have missed it because I would have responded. Did I respond?
No, you did not.
Yeah, then I must have missed that one. But
Ouch.
yeah, no, I don't like that he's basically become no different than a right-wing grifter, charging $80 for a biscuit and a couple of cold pieces of bacon to, he's basically he's like a televangelist now.
Wait, what?
And it's disgusting.
What biscuit? I'm not
What
sure
are you
you
talking
know
about?
that.
Do you get a free breakfast if you go to his Sunday thing
Yeah, you get a free breakfast if you spend $80 to get in.
on the ticket?
And it's basically
Why?
like Firefest level food.
Has he never been to church? You don't eat in church.
Yeah,
You eat after church.
other than the wafer, the body of Christ.
I don't know. Like I said, he's just a grifter now, and it's sad and gross.
You know what though? Musicians and are all grifters. I mean, the whole point is hey, please buy this thing that I'm making. So at least it's I don't know, a much more acceptable grift. I think.
I think it's a little different when you're actually making art to get people to buy versus trying to just steal people's money to make them feel like they're getting closer to God.
Do people feel like they're getting closer to God, or are they just going for
There's
the
Sunday
high
church
standards?
services.
They're
He
going
wants to
because
change his name.
so they can put it on their
Well,
Instagram.
Well, yeah, but
that's why they're
changing his
doing
name to Christian billionaire, whatever. I don't know what it was. It's
Yeah,
it's
that's hilarious.
It's just
That's
vile.
great.
No, it's gross, and we shouldn't be enabling that bullshit.
He's an entertainer. He's entertaining.
Yeah.
No,
I give
is
him a
Tammy
pass
Faye
on all
Baker
that,
and
'cause
Jim Baker entertainers too. Then
I don't know
is
what
Pat
that is.
Buchanan an entertainer? The 700 Club, is that
It's pretty funny to me.
Sure,
The
why
700
not?
Club is hilarious to me.
It
I
is. When
definitely
I get
watched a
clips
lot of
it, it's great.
episodes of that. It's great.
Yes, but
I don't know.
oh god, I hate all of
Kanye
you.
has he understands now the modern media age. Where I sometimes watch a YouTube show called the Punk MBA, Master of Business Administration, and he tries to give advice. He's an older musician guy, and he's run some labels, and he writes for magazines. He's always trying to give financial advice. And one of the main things, he's just none of you people understand that this has always been hard to make money. You just have to understand how do you get the traffic in that current era. And Kanye West, he understands it. He just
That's
I
true.
will just be as outlandish as possible, and that is what 2020 America is all about, and he's what we deserve.
It's not cool.
And he's made some good songs too. It's not like it's all garbage. Like if it was just hot garbage, I would say, yeah, well, it's just total grift nonsense. But I don't know. There's still some creativity behind it. I actually didn't like the record all that much. I was a little disappointed by it, but I don't know.
It's gross.
Great. On that note, let's go to some of these tracks. We have 7 great tracks for you here. We can come back to Kanye later, but this very first one is from...
They're Kanye free.
Go for it. Maybe. This very first track is from a Hungarian act called Grecian Beach with Dirty Shame. Craig, this must be you, because you're always into Eastern Europeans.
What are you, a Dracula or what?
Yes.
Oh, I have to make, I didn't mention this before, but our little bit from last episode with, from Sith to Synth.
Yeah, classic bit.
Or Synth to
That
whatever.
classic
I
bit
remember
that
what it was.
everybody remembers and loves. We've gotten so many emails and stuff about it.
That was partially written by one of the other Drunken Draculas members, Justin. So I gotta give him props there. Anyway, why'd you pick this track, Craig?
Well, so she was featured on our old podcast, Yours and I's, the Space Rock Mountain one, and it was amazing stuff back then, and I still love her shit now. And then Bandcamp was like, hey, she put out another thing, and I listened to it and I liked it, and there's just something about the way she sings that's like perfect for the style of music that she plays. And
Sure.
yeah, they're just good, dirty bedroom pop songs. Like, yeah, I like it. They're great. She's been making amazing music now for over half a decade, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, I kind of, in my notes, just said, this is like Drunken Draculas, but with a purpose or a direction.
And
So,
talent.
it's good. I mean, this is the kind of music I
like-
like. So.
Yeah. It took 3 of you to make music less good than hers. She's one person.
So how about you, Arnold? Is this still up your alley? Are you still a dirty garage rock fan?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I really like the sound. I really like the sound of like the guitar, her vocals. Had a really good sound to it. Very moody kind of sound.
I'm just glad she's still putting it out because, some of these bands, obviously, they drop a couple tracks, you drop a couple EPs, and they're done. The fact that goes back to that podcast from years and years ago, and she's still out there doing it, good for her.
Yeah, fantastic. Great start to the episode.
Very good. Let's go into our next track. Let's see if
Wait,
this
hold
one's
on.
any better.
When were you guys doing that podcast? Like, what was the years? Just I can't remember how long
I
it
was
was.
in San Diego, so that was at least 4, and
At least
I don't
4 or
know.
5
It was at least this. I think the EP that we did of hers came out 5 years ago, so it was at least 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, I think we petered out about 4 years ago or so, something about that. Yeah. Well, let's get to our next track. Let's see if this will peter out this podcast. This is from a band called Scone Cash Players. They're from Miami, Florida, with Bokum High. Without a doubt, this is an On Hell song.
Yeah.
It's On Hell.
And you know why, right?
I mean, it's like the love of James Brown. It's like sounds like King Khan and the Shrines kind of stuff. It's just, it's good 1960s retro music.
And if you look, there's about 800 subscribers to their stuff, which
Oh, is there?
Yeah, all of Hungary's bands always have lots of people that like them already. It's like the total antithesis
Tell us
of what
about
this
it,
is
Hungy.
about.
I'm lame.
We're trying to find bands that nobody's ever heard. Even the people that make the music haven't even heard the stuff that they put out.
Hey, listen, I wasn't here when the mission statement was made, okay?
And I actually
I
think
just
it
find
fits our
music.
mission statement because chances are you weren't going to find this song unless you're listening to this podcast. So, I mean, obviously someone would have found it out there, but most people, they tune in to hear our great insight into music, you know, talking
My
about
thoughts on Max
Kanye,
Rebo.
Max Rebo, of course. So, Anil, why'd you pick this?
For all the reasons you said. I mean, yeah, it just has this like great kind of like 60s James Brown kind of sound, really good organ, of course. It's got, I've always, I love organ, what can I say?
Mono has a really great organ, too.
I want that on your gravestone. I like organ. What can I say?
I should get that on my shirt.
R.I.P.
My dumb face on it. But it also has like this really, I like a lot of those 60s songs that have like a really like it sounds like it's like a party vibe. It's like it's played live, like everyone's just there having fun, you know. Mm-hmm. And this song really has that sound to me, which it always gets me like, you know, pumped up and stuff.
Yeah, it's a good one. I really like this too.
I don't know what the hell Bochum High means though.
I don't know
I
either.
think Google it. I should Google it, but I don't know what that means.
Probably something racist these days. How about you, Craig?
It's the name of a demon he's evoking.
Wow, that'd be great. I'd be down with that.
Yeah, I could go with some like blacks, like instead of black metal, just like black funk, just like total demonic funk music. That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
And it'd probably get more people to convert because, you know, black metal is not that appealing to anyone outside of black metal scene. So
Yeah,
they
true.
probably
Very
get more
true.
people with Satan.
Yeah. Let's start up a band. Anybody know how to
I
play
did
folk
that.
music?
And I
No idea.
Okay. Anyway, I give this the same review as the Sorcerers from the last episode. Would I ever choose to listen to this on my own? No. Would I be upset if it came on a playlist? Probably, because it was very jarring to the typical sad shit I listen to. But is this good?
Why is that, Craig? You
Undeniably.
only listen to sad music. You say that about every song that's like happy and fun, where you're like, oh, this is at a party. You've been to parties before.
Uh-huh.
You don't just put on like, hey guys, who wants to listen to Jason Molina cry about his life?
Jesus Christ, I would leave that party.
At my,
No, I'd
at
be
my
like,
get-togethers,
what the
I
fuck is
do.
with this
All
party?
right?
Do you really?
No. I don't.
Oh, thank God.
No, but most of the stuff that we tend to listen to or put on in the house are like, yeah, radio stations on Spotify that are anchored by more like down shit. I don't know.
Melancholy.
Like if you're gonna listen to like have something on sort of in the background for hours on end, I just give me sad bastards and sad bitches.
I just like to dance, and you know, I want to be dancing in my house.
So I will say, I don't know if you guys listen to the Mogul podcast, but this season's all about the rise of Miami hip hop and the Two Live Crew and Southern hip hop in general, centered on the Miami sound. And in one of the more recent episodes, they were talking about how in like the neighborhoods where a lot of that music came from, they were like super into a lot of the James Brown funk and other funk bands from that era that around, you know, the late 80s and 90s and stuff, most other cities weren't really listening to. So it just kind of grounded the Miami sound with a lot of those funkier elements and like the big sounds from that. And so I thought it was kind of cool that, you know, this type of music is still coming from Miami, and I liked it. And so so there was a connection to my real life too. So fuck off.
There you go. Fair enough. Yeah, I like that kind of music history about styles, like just the same way with like gangster rap from LA. A lot of it was built around like, you know, the songs from the 80s like Zap and stuff that, you know, that kind of synth sound that just made its way in because that was just remained popular, acceptable kind of music to listen to in that scene. I just find that always interesting when those sounds are processed through a new modern lens, but it's like really part of that community's sound. Like it's the root.
Yeah, the other thing that really shocked me about Miami is apparently they have, and still do have, like a huge like pirate radio scene there. And like some of the stories from that were crazy. Like there's one guy who's basically like selling cocaine on the air, like telling where people could drop off and people coming and going. Wow. And like I don't like.
And here's the next song from Scum
thing
Cash
that-
Players.
But the thing that got him in trouble, well, before he got arrested for the drug stuff, but the first thing that almost got him in trouble was like this guy from the FCC came by and is like, you're broadcasting illegal radio waves, and it's interfering with planes that are flying overhead. And the guy was like, I don't have a radio station. And the guy pointed at the 60-foot tower in his backyard. He's like, yeah, you do. I thought that was great. And then they just made
great.
like a portable one, and they drove around and just set up these random parties in the street. Just sounded like wild as fuck. But it's so weird to like have like just this, just like they're playing some of the clips from these old like pirate radio shows, and it was nuts what they were doing back then, and still are. It's really cool. Like, so, props to Miami.
Yeah, I hope they pay us for that little plug. Let's get into the next track.
The city of Miami.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the check to come from what was that Polish city?
Polish city.
Wrocław.
Yes.
Well, it takes a while to get here.
Wrocław,
you know?
yeah.
Just like when people tweeted out or shared our episode and they won the vinyl, it took a long time for it to get down to Brazil there. But I'm glad it got there in one piece and they enjoyed it. So, congratulations. Let's go to our next song. This is actually a submission. This is from a Philly band called Von Hayes with their track December This is much like our very first song in this episode. This is actually a band we've talked about before on our previous podcast, Space Rock Mountain One. A guy by the name of Graham Rapolsky. He's been sending me stuff for years. He puts out like an EP every 2 days or something like that. It's just like a huge stream of music. And I actually put together a Graham Rapolsky Von Hayes, which is another act that he's related to, video that you can find on our YouTube page where I talk a bit about the band. And he just sent this to me, came in on a CD, popped it in my car, listened to it, and I thought, all right, this is the track I'm going to be talking about. So what did you think of this, Ono?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. The vocals kind of reminded me of a little bit of like Death Cab for Cutie, or like that kind of early 2000s kind of indie rock kind of sound.
I had that in my notes too.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it. And then I didn't listen to any other songs though, so I'm curious to know what it sounds like, especially considering it's a submission. I do want to hear more of it.
It sounds a lot like this. I mean,
is it
I would
similar?
say, yeah, the Von Hayes stuff, if I had to differentiate it between the Graham Rapolsky stuff and this, is that it's a bit more like guided by voices, a little more focused, than kind of Graham Rapolsky gets a bit more experimental. But if you like this, you're probably going to like a lot of the tracks on it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I really liked it.
How about you, Craig?
I was going to say, and like Guided by Voices, who also puts out a new EP every 2 days. That's anyway. No, this sounds like so much stuff that I listened to and listen to currently that I can't not like it. It's just crusty pop music done well that takes a lot from, the good, just, I don't know, the pop genres from like the 80s and 90s and early 2000s indie rock scene, all that left of the dial shit.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, that's good stuff. Do you think they like the new Kanye West record?
The new what?
Yes.
Kanye West? Is that his name, right?
I'm gonna no. Just,
I'm pretty sure everyone likes it.
Did it get good reviews? I actually have not seen it.
No, people don't like it.
It didn't?
No? Okay, well.
I'm sure Pitchfork gave it a 10.
Kanye.
I'm sure Pitchfork gave it a 10 because fuck them too. No, I don't.
Really? What's wrong with Pitchfork?
I haven't heard it, and I will never hear it, and because again, I don't like what he's become and doing to.
I feel like I've not heard people talking about it so much, like specifically like songs, tracks, whatever.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I mean, when I listened to it, I thought there's some fine tracks here, but it's more of like a kind of one centerpiece, and that's kind of extended through a couple of different tracks, which is fine. But I thought, I don't know if any of these are gonna tear up the airwaves, but what do I know? I'm just like a 37-year-old white guy who listens to Kanye West records.
I mean, it doesn't matter if he's making $80 a head on his grift.
I mean, $80 a head for a show is not bad.
But it's not
I'd
really
paid
a
more
show.
to see.
Yeah,
Yes,
I feel like Bruce Springsteen charges more than that.
For sure.
Yeah, but I don't. Fine, whatever. You guys, it's bullshit.
And Bruce Springsteen doesn't give me no fucking bacon and a biscuit.
That's right. That cheapskate. Let's go fight him.
But Bruce Springsteen should have
Bruce.
been the first band that introduced you to leftist politics, Ryan. Not fucking Rage Against the Machine.
I actually, well, first of
That's
all,
what was
in the
cool.
90s,
Bruce Springsteen was not cool.
yeah, I mean, the 90s, I had to come to love Bruce Springsteen only when I was more in, like, first ironically, and then, like, oh, actually, I do like this. But no, in the mid 90s, as a 90s high schooler, I was not going to be into Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
All I can remember was those early 90s records where he has, like, a headband on and he's looks like he's 5 years too late to the party. So, no, that was not going to happen. Let's go to our next track here. Someone who's not late to the party. This is a London-based act called Benedict Benjamin with his song Ain't
Just muscle memory in your heart. Your demons wanna run you out of town. You gave them a head start. So come on, baby, get your hair out. Wear your fingers to the bone. Making something work ain't easy. I can do it all alone. Hold your breath. Don't set fire to the canvas. There's something missing when you're close to me. Something forgotten in your touch.
Because this is popular, it must be from Hungary.
Is this popular?
Well, he's got a lot of fans, it seems, or a decent number.
By a lot, do you guys mean like it has more than like two little pictures
Yes.
below the
Yep.
album cover?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
So why'd you pick this one?
So well, why I picked it was because it has that ridiculous album cover. That's what caught my eye.
What was the album cover?
Which is just like a. Oh, so this is
Just him
interesting,
as a
right?
little boy.
The last episode we had two bands that had album covers with little kids on them, which I thought it was weird. And then we had this one. I was like, oh, I should have put that one in the other episode.
Oh, we could add that theme
Oh
with
right,
Yeah.
it's just
Reebok
like
Chronicles.
the headshot of the little kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like little like it was like an 80s picture,
Yeah.
or like early 90s picture. Yeah.
Well,
Anyways,
it worked. It grabbed your attention, got you to
Yeah,
listen to
it
it, and now
got
you're
me,
sharing
yeah.
it with us.
Yeah, but this is I really like this one. It's super. I would say like Craig had that one last episode where he listened to it a dozen times. Mm-hmm. I would say I listened to this song definitely a dozen times. I like his voice. It's so it's got a really weird character to it, but it's really cool sounding.
Absolutely. Like, I even think, like, the last track, the Von Hayes track, is like a character study or a track study in a certain type of indie rock, like the Guided by Voices world, a very lo-fi, janky kind of stuff. And this is like a study in the opposite end of that indie scene of just like really accomplished and very well, recorded. It's very catchy. Just, I think, a really good track. How about you, Craig?
Yeah, like Angel was saying with his voice, that the way, like the rhythm and the delivery of the lines, it was just really, it was just really fun. Sped up certain lines, played around with like the number of syllables and the patterns from line to line. So it just didn't sound like your standard like verse, chorus type of song where every line has the same number of syllables, it's all delivered the same. It just took what would have been like a pretty standard indie track and made it something very, very memorable. And yeah, this is another one that I listened to a lot in the last couple of days because the voice was so fun.
Yeah, really good find. And if we think of Kanye West as like prestige music, do you guys watch much prestige TV? God damn, look how professional I am.
Yeah,
look
you're
how
so good.
look,
You're
see
really
that
good
pivot
at
right
this.
there. But I actually want to know. I mean, obviously, Game of Thrones is over. That was the
Thank God.
prestige TV. Is there anything else that's going right now? Because I don't watch anything at this
I don't
point.
watch any TV anymore either.
I guess the new Watchmen show that I haven't started yet.
Oh,
is
I've heard
apparently
about that.
people
Hard
like.
pass.
Why? Why
cares?
hard pass?
It's just a hard pass. It's like I feel like
I mean, I read a lot. I go to the comic shop every week, and I'm kind of not interested in. Is it a reimagining of Watchmen? It's
I
not
think
just
it's
the
like a
retelling
sequel,
of the comic.
actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think it takes place years later.
did Alan Moore actually do a sequel to Watchmen?
No, but the comics did. They have done like I think like in 2014 or 15 they did like sequel series. There was like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah,
I
hard pass for
I
me,
haven't
too.
started watching, so I can't comment on what it is or isn't about. But yeah, I don't really watch any prestige shit either right now. I
just feel
I
like
watch
I
watch a lot of
prestige.
watch a lot of Forged in Fire, the knife making competition.
I don't know what that means.
That's a great show. I
It's
know we've
very
talked about that.
it's very relaxing. And now like I'm on my YouTube shit, I watch so many. There's like so many people that just do like the time lapse stuff of them forging knives, and it's really cool, and it's a great way to kill like 10-15 minutes. It's just like, I don't know, it's relaxing.
I don't have 15 minutes to kill, Craig.
That's why you're on YouTube.
That's right.
You just watch 10-minute YouTube videos.
I'm trying to kill other people's 15 minutes.
Fair enough.
But I feel like that Watchmen series, the only thing I know about it is that it's somewhat controversial, and I feel like that's what all these shows try to do now.
That's the thing. And the thing is, Watchmen was the series, the comic series, Watchmen, wasn't trying to make some grand political statement.
It wasn't? I thought it was.
I don't think so. I mean, there's like subtext and stuff, but I feel like it's mostly like a commentary like on comic books itself.
It is, but I mean, like, even the Rorschach character, like, Alan Moore was really against the kind of, like, the what is it, like, the Ditko kind of Batman slash, I'm messing up all the characters, but, like, there was an era of certain characters, which he was an objectivist, an Ayn Rand follower, so he was always like, my characters are going to rise above, and they're going to do what's right, and then Rorschach is supposed to be, like, a very extreme version of that, because Alan Moore didn't like that philosophy. I guess it's not hitting you over the head with it. If you didn't know any
that's
of
what
those
I'm saying.
things. Yeah. Well, because Alan Moore's a good writer, so he's not going to have, like, here's what you have to believe, read this book. It's going to just be...
I know. I think
Except for if you read his weird, like, porno book that he did about like all the girls from...
the princesses.
Yeah, what was that called?
I can't remember what it's called,
Dang,
but yeah.
it's
you guys
pretty
both
dirty,
know
so-
100% what it's called, and you're just trying to pretend like you don't.
Oh, trust me, I would be proud to say I know what it is, but I want to keep saying daughters, but it's not daughters. It's
That'd make it even
that's even
grosser.
creepier.
Yeah.
Well, it's gross. I mean,
he has
hired
a weird.
version.
He has a weird sex life of his own, right?
I'm sure.
Didn't he have like wasn't he like in a polyamorous relationship where they kind of like kept the woman prisoner or something like that?
Oh, I did not hear that, but
like not against her will. I think it was like a weird little thing they did.
of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's Alan Moore, so
Yeah, he's a strange
you're allowed to do that. He's kind of like the Trump of the comic world, where it's like people just like, yeah, well, that's just him, man.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, let's get to our next track
I
here.
don't like where this is going at all.
Let's get to this next track. Craig will like where this one's going because I'm sure he found this song. This is from the Ukraine. It's a band called Incoma with Echoes of the Past. I know this is a Craig song because it has no fans. So, Craig, tell us about this band or this song.
Well, it's from Ukraine. Nothing politically relevant going on there these days.
Not
so
that I'm
we can
aware
just
of.
skip over that. No, it's post rock, obviously. I believe if you like post rock, you will like this. And for me, and the reason why I chose it because 9 out of 10 post rock bands all sound the same. It's like, well, what's this got that differentiates them? And for me, it was the drummer and the drumming. Like, I love how they recorded them. It sounds so distant and ominous, like that. How like when you hear a car coming from a distance, like a lot of the more trebly stuff you hear a little first, and the rattling of the drums, and nothing really comes into focus aurally until they get pretty close. And that kind of felt like that with that drumming here, where it's just I don't know. I just love the drumming. It's so rare for drumming to be a thing on a post-rock band. Besides just either they're barely tapping things or they're just smashing their cymbals until their hands bleed. And I just loved the way that this was a lot more technical and nuanced.
Yeah, I like this too. I haven't listened to a lot of kind of post-rock stuff outside of this show and the stuff we find for the show. It's generally not the kind of stuff I put on these days because I don't like kind of the slow build. I need it to get me dancing perhaps a little bit sooner, or I need it to be more atmospheric so that it actually isn't disturbing what I'm working on. But it's a good track, and it says in there that PayPal apparently does not work in Ukraine for I don't know why that is, but so you can't even sell their music on Bandcamp, which is kind of a bummer for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's probably because of Russian propaganda and influence that they can't get money from late capitalism.
From Bandcamp?
Yeah.
Right. Oh no, you like this? No, you didn't. You gave it 0 stars.
No, I actually did like it. Yeah, I mean, like you, I don't really listen to a whole lot of post-rock too much either. I did appreciate that the song wasn't like 15 minutes long, so that's got that going for it.
Well, you could have listened to it like twice or 3 times.
I guess so, or like 3 times, right? Yeah, but I didn't want to. Well, not 3 times in a row, I should say. I would say any good measure of a post-rock song is if you can imagine it being played during the football scenes in Friday Night Lights, and I think this song could do that.
Hey, that's the height of a post-rock band. It's like, man, we got into Friday Night Lights.
I come from the different.
I just love
I was gonna say I come from the different realm of that one, and I just imagine it being played in a zombie scene from 28 Days Later.
That's also good. I just like the thought of like post-rock and football being in the same world.
Oh shit! Next time I watch some football, I'm gonna put on some post-rock in the background.
Oh, there you go. Wow. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, that'll go over well when you're imagining all the concussions and brain damage they're all getting.
Yeah, every cymbal crash is basically a concussion.
Totally worth that $5 million a year.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they retired
all
by
right,
the
let's
time
get
they're
to
like 30 and they're dead by 50 from CTE.
Yep.
Sports, baby.
Seems fair.
Yeah.
Let's get to this next track. This is also from a Santa Rosa act called KF Kid and Stuf with their song Sadboi.
Left his room, left his records for a while. He even cracked a smile. Sadboi left his sadness behind. Sadboi left his sadness alone. Misery loves his company. Sad boy, let him be. He'll find another, and you'll be happy. Sad boy, left his sadness alone.
So I found this. It is, of course, a Santa Rosa act, and I've been trying to really get into my scene here. There's actually a lot of shows going on that I'm like, dang, I got to be going out more often, and it's hard for me to do that because I'm old. But this is a band that it seems to be related to a lot of kind of local math rock or indie rock bands that I like. Or at least they seem to have some cross-pollination, and it looks like it's just like a little recording project that they had at the JC over here, and I don't know, I like it. It's got a saxophone, which is always cool. Yeah. It's got some kind of odd, funny lyrics. It's playful, but it's technical. That's basically my kind of jam. So, how about you, Craig? Do you like it?
So, do you just go to Bandcamp and search for Santa Rosa acts, or do you like look at posters for bands around town and just look them up, or how do you go about this?
For finding shows, it's usually posters.
No.
But
there's like the bands that you find from Santa Rosa.
Oh, I mean, the last episode where I had the Santa Rosa act and this episode, these were just from the tags on Bandcamp, because I don't think either of these are live acts.
So you just search for Santa Rosa?
That's correct.
Okay, cool. Anyway, for me, so bedroom projects and things like this, they always kind of toe that line between too much shit going on and just the right amount of shit going on. to have like disparate cacophonies of sound actually like come together and work. It's a very delicate balancing act, and I don't think they pulled it off. So this wasn't a big hit for me again. I guess, did I not like the other Santa Rosa act either last week?
Yeah, you weren't big on that either.
Yeah. Santa Rosa sucks, I guess.
hate
It's
the
all
North
your
Bay.
fault.
Well, it is burning down basically every year, so, you know.
Yeah, it's just getting smaller
that
and
going
smaller
for
and
us.
smaller.
And yet no songs about fire.
Yeah, dang. How about you, Anil?
I did like it a lot, actually. And so you don't think they do any sort of live? Because I was thinking this would be a really fun act to see live.
Yeah, I hope they do. I just have never seen them live. I have never seen them advertised around for any kind of show. So,
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like you said, it was it's really playful, really fun. The lyrics are a little silly. I mean, even the title, "Sadboi," they just sounded like they were having fun on the track. It was really good. And I think you mentioned math rock, but I felt like it had like a really kind of like jazz kind of sound to it too, with the guitars and stuff like that, which I really liked.
yeah, it sounds like they know what they're doing. And
Yeah.
just,
Because it had a
hold it together.
saxophone.
They should definitely
Make
play-
it jazzy.
Shut up, you're dumb.
I am not.
Something that's not dumb is this next track. This is from Los Angeles. This is a band called Sudan Archives with her song Iceland Moss.
I don't need your helping hand, no. Tired of the silly dance. Had something special on the high note. Don't get it twisted, this is where I stand. Don't get concerned on what I'm on to. Had a couple runs, now's my turn. Can't stand to see a nigga blue. Don't get it twisted, this is where I stand. You think I'm soft like ice and moss all over me, like harmonies, like a breeze, right? So smooth like ice. I think that's why we're eye to eye. I'd rather lose focus instead. Enjoy these moments to spare. Looks like we're going nowhere. I let my path guide my heart and saw the words on the wall. Our love's a cave in the dark. It read that you're all. She said, how you gonna walk around acting like you don't even care?
This is a great find, and it's got to be a Hungary find because again, she seems like she's got quite a following, and for a good reason. But tell us about this, Otto.
So I've heard of Sudan Archives before, just like in writing. I've seen the name and stuff like that, and lately I've been seeing it a lot more. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a listen. And I was just like blown away. I mean, it's R&B, but it's got, I don't know, it's got like a different sound to it that I've not really heard too much of, which I think is cool. Doing something kind of new. Very great voice, a lot of experimental violin stuff going on in it too. So I was pretty blown away by it when I heard it, and I thought, wow, this is just too good. I got to put this on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too, because it is what a great like melding of just an accomplished musician with a good pop ear and the ability to kind of bring those different sounds together. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then just in the song itself, like it's such a weird, like the title is called Iceland Moss, and just how she uses that in the song, it's just so like interesting, and like I just think it's like she's got a very good, she's very artistic, I guess is the way to say it.
Yeah, Kanye should sign her up for his next record.
For sure.
How about you, Craig? Is Kanye going to sign you up? No?
No,
What do you think of this track?
Kanye is not going to sign me up, and I would be very sad if Kanye signed her as well.
Really?
Is that-
If you were on stage with your little like reel-to-reel pad, I'd be like, dude, that's amazing. There's Kanye West using your bloops and bleeps.
You would be perfect because you could just play like some like old preacher dude stuff over his stuff.
Call him up.
I would
Hit him up on Twitter.
I would sell out for that, and then take all the money that I made from it and donate it to some good leftist causes. Because
I would donate not a single cent.
That boy,
Yeah, I
right?
would keep all the money.
Oh my god, you guys are So not cool. Anyway, I'm going to pretend like I found this because it's really fucking good. And the rest of the album is also really fucking good.
Yeah.
And
really good.
I don't want to live in a world where Hungary found this. So, Ryan, let's hit stop. We re-record this one. And you're going to be like, yeah, Sudan Archives is obviously a Craig find because it's so good. Okay.
Sounds like a terrible plan.
All right, so let's start it up. All right, ready? Okay, go.
Okay.
No. All right, guys, you just listened to From Sith to Synth, one of the greatest films ever made.
Oh,
Wait, if we're talking about Max Rebo, I have a question about Max Rebo.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so because Luke and his friends have to go rescue their stupid ass friend, they kill like this super popular band that I'm assuming is huge across the galaxy. Do you think people ever
that's a
came
big
up
assumption.
to Luke and were like, "You asshole, you fucking killed Max Rebo. I loved him."
I hope it haunts it every day.
Yeah.
Just like Trump going to like public events now and getting booed. This boo Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, he comes out like boo.
Max Rebo.
Yeah, remember Max.
And he's saying, are they saying boo or boo earns?
God damn it.
I didn't know how to get the boo to Max Rebo. I couldn't do it.
Max Rebo?
Yeah, hello.
Yes. Oh my God. You blew my mind.
Damn it.
So we can agree, Max Rebo's great, but so is Sudan Archives,
I feel
right?
like Max Rebo is like the Buddy Holly of that universe.
Really?
Yeah,
I would have
he
seen
died-
him more
died too
as...
soon.
He wasn't the Chubby Checkers?
No, because Chubby Checkers lived way too long.
Wait, who else died in that crash?
well, the whole band.
Luke Diamond Phillips died.
Oh, we're talking about real people, not Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, with Buddy Holly. Who else was in there? Wasn't Chubby Checkers in that?
No, the Big Bopper.
Oh, there you go.
See?
All right.
And,
They're very similar.
I would actually say a better analogy or analogous character in our real world for Max Rebo is actually more Eddie Murphy with his great song, My Girl Just Wants to Party All the Time, Party All the Time.
That's
Party
true.
all the time.
And then, as we all know, he tragically died when his space barge blew up.
Yep. Filming the movie Pluto Nash.
Because he shot it.
Richie
All right.
Valens. I forgot about Richie Valens. Richie Valens was the other one that died.
Yeah, and he shot Pluto Nash on Pluto.
Of course.
The most
All right, guys, so-
expensive-
what do we
most
have?
That
expensive
movie took
ever
place on the
made.
moon, didn't it?
I don't know. Why is it called Pluto Nash? Well, I guess that's just his
I think
first
his name is Pluto Nash.
Yeah, there's a dog
Yeah,
named
there you
Pluto,
go.
so that doesn't... Okay, yeah, fine. Fine. They shot it on the moon. Still, very expensive movie to make, all right?
True.
Very good. All right,
Okay.
so what's
Sorry,
our
Sudan
best shit show
Archives.
here, folks? We've had 7 great songs. Anel, what's the number 1 from this set?
Sudan Archives. For sure.
I'm inclined to say the same, but Craig, are you going to say Sudan Archives?
Yeah, and I'm mad because it should have been the Piresian Beach track because that was fantastic. But no, fuck you on him. Good find.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How dare you introduce me to music that I like?
I know.
Next time I'll try to find more. What don't you like?
All right, folks. Well, if you want to send your music in and see if we like that and talk about it on the show, you can send it to visceralmusic@gmail.com. Go to Twitter, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Any last comments, gentlemen?
Winter has come to Massachusetts. I didn't say anything about the weather last episode, and I feel really bad.
Oh, that's true.
And yeah, it's been freezing cold here. It's supposed to snow tonight. I'm excited. You know, when winter comes, you're excited for the first few months, and then it lasts 3 more months, and you're like, fuck you. Anyway, I'm excited.
Very good. Oh, no.
Justice for Max Rebo.
That's right. On that note, I'm out.
Later.